Hey, I've got a $20 bet for you in this video. But first, let's see how our jam entry did, and check out the improvements made since. Of 1,018 games, we came in about the top 20% for visuals. We did pretty well with sound and fun, creativity also. The Wowie score, simplicity, and on topic we fell off. On topic specifically because we didn't get the AI part implemented, which was a bummer. Welcome to Devlog with Jake. If you've been here before, you rock. And if it's your first time here, you've got a chance to rock. Just hit that like button and subscribe. Alright, let's get into it. Have you ever been involved in a project that when it was time to call it quits, you just could not let go? This was me last week. I would walk away from the computer and it would call to me and nag at me until I returned. This game just wasn't complete and I had to fix it. In my last devlog, I shared with you the creation of the Navigator. We had a pretty cool game idea for Wowie Jam 4.0 where the theme was collaborate with the AI. How did I know we did? Well, of all 1,018 submissions that were submitted and rated, I didn't see one other game that came at the theme the same way we did. So we've got this fairly unique take on the theme. All that remained was for us to execute. I teamed up with my good bud Bones for this game jam. He's this artsy skateboarder turned embedded systems engineer, you know the type, super good at art, UX, math, and physics, and he can do a kickflip, the kind of guy that gets all the ladies. Anyway, Tony was a huge help conceptualizing our game and formulating an art direction. It was up to me to knit most of the pieces together in Unity. I dropped the ball on this front because I spent all of one evening, actually late into the night, playing games with buds and not working on my game jam game. It was a huge fail, I know. I crunched at the end of the jam, pounded coffee and typed like Hacker Man, and tried to get into the game the features we had discussed. Well, it didn't happen. And that leads us back to now. During the game jam, I monitored all of the comments from jammers that tried the game. Most players were positive, but many pointed out flaws, and they were totally valid. Some players were confused, others didn't see how we implemented the theme. And I know, it's just a game jam. It's just one weekend. But the game we outlined was going to be cool, and it was so near what we had envisioned. So I worked on it. First, I added the AI we had envisioned. In essence, this breaks down to the game displaying info tips regarding the next turn, like slight right, hard left, or punch it. This also included suggestions for the speed the driver should maintain through the corner. The second thing I added as a result of jam feedback and getting feedback from friends who played the game, shout out to Ghost, Lee, and Colin. I appreciate you gamer bros playing my stuff. What I learned is that it was a highly motivated individual that could do donuts at the finish line, and each time they passed go, they would collect 200. Register another lap. Like this one fine chap, Looming Goblin, who conquered the game in 11 seconds. All my hard work and effort boiled down to 11 seconds of ecstasy for that guy. Well played, chap. Still the fastest time on record as far as I know. To prevent this spoof, I made use of the 13 game objects I had spread around the track. The colliders on these game objects had triggers that let me update the AI text for the player. I repurposed them to also act as a checkpoint system, where the checkpoint just after start is 1, and the final checkpoint before finish is 13. If you try passing the start-finish line without 13 checkpoints reached, no dice. No easy peasy wins now. Also, if you try to say snag checkpoint 1, then 13 a handful of times, and then pass start-finish, well that won't work either, because the game actually knows which checkpoint it expects at each juncture. I would actually like for someone to try and spoof the time of this game now. I think I did a decent job of locking it down, but I could be wrong. For you challenge takers, the first person to show me a screenshot of the entire itch.io page from the Navigator with a time better than 1 minute, I will Venmo you or PayPal you $20. Just the first person, mind you. Another item I improved was the sound. I had a bug in my audio manager code that impacted each sound aside from the car engine and the tire sounds. The bug was that the volume range was a float from 0.0 to 0.1, which meant each one of the other sounds could at most only reach 1/10 of this car engine or tire sounds. That was a super big goof on my part, and I'm glad I found it. The last two changes have to do with the results screen, which I don't really want to reveal entirely. There's an improved timer display, and the AI has varying feedback for you based on your time. This I'll leave for those of you that try the game to find yourself. Go on now, check it out. It plays in the browser, so no need to download anything. Head to itch.io and search for the Navigator, or click on the link in the description of this video. Remember, the first person who can show me a time of 1 minute or less from this version of the Navigator gets $20, or doll hairs. That's up to you. Before you go, would you slap your meat pad on that like button? It would help me so much. Also subscribe if you enjoyed this. But as always, I'm Jake. This is Devlog with Jake. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.